It's the most wonderful time of the year. And no, I don't mean Christmas, I mean scholarship time. Hey seniors, we wanted to take a quick minute and talk to you about the upcoming local scholarship packet that will be available for seniors to begin working on. You will be receiving an email within the next week or so that will have the local scholarship book as an attachment to your email. You will also, on December 7th or 8th, depending on which day you have language arts, you will also have a presentation from a counselor walking you through the scholarship presentation and how to apply and all that good stuff. But we wanted to take a minute, give you this information now, so if there were any little eager beavers out there that wanted to get started on it, they could go ahead and do that now. So, the first thing that you need to know is where to get this wonderful scholarship information. So if you'll follow me over here to the high school homepage, you will see we're on the Carthage High School homepage, not the district page, the Carthage High School homepage. And we're going to click right here where it says Counselor's Site. I'd like to take a quick minute and give a shout out to our business department for helping us update our website and give us a new fresh look. Looks awesome. Same great information, but man, does it look a lot better. Thanks. Across the top, you'll see all the different tabs of information. We're going to go to the Scholarship tab. You'll notice right up here at the top is the 2015-2016 Carthage High School Scholarship Booklet, as well as the Scholarship app and a letter of recommendation form. We're going to start right here with the scholarship book. Give you a chance to look and see what that looks like. The scholarship book, when you get it in your email attachment, you'll be able to open it as a Word document so that you can manipulate it. That's how we really like for kids to work on it, because then you can personalize the book and make it yours. The first part of the book is nothing but information, instructions, information about FAFSA, which is financial aid. And then when you get a few pages in, about page 9 or so, you'll start to see this big chart of scholarships. The first one is the Marilyn Bruffett Memorial Skills USA Scholarship, then the Carthage Businesswomen of Missouri Scholarship. What you're going to do is look at each scholarship, decide whether you meet the qualifications and whether or not you want to apply. So when I look at this first one, I see that it's the Marilyn Bruffett Memorial Skills USA Scholarship. It's $150 to $250. It's for a graduating senior who's a current member of Skills USA. For me, time out, I stop. I don't meet that requirement. That scholarship's not for me. Move on. If I am a current member, then I'll keep going and I can apply for that one. So I'm going to say no, I'm not a member of Skills USA, and then I move here. The next one is the Carthage Businesswomen of Missouri Scholarship. It's $600 awarded over 2 semesters for a graduating high school senior enrolling in college or university in the fall and not already receiving a scholarship that is a full tuition or a full ride scholarship. So, boys, just because this says Carthage Businesswomen of Missouri doesn't mean you can't apply. When you look back at the requirements, it says graduating senior, it doesn't say female. We do have some scholarships that may be for male or female students only, but this is not one of them. So if I decide, yes, this is a scholarship I want to apply for, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this information. I'm going to open up a new document, and I'm going to paste that information right there. So in essence, what I'm doing is I'm pulling from the original document only the scholarships that I want to apply for. And in my new document, I will have a list that's just the scholarships that I want to apply for. So I'll be pasting in on this document here as I find scholarships that I want to apply. So with this Carthage Businesswomen of Missouri Scholarship, it says that I need to complete a general application. We've tried to streamline that for you guys as well. And right underneath the Carthage High School Scholarship book, back on the high school counseling page, is our scholarship application. And it is also a document that you can manipulate. I click on the Word document, it's going to load that in and I can see it. Now I can't type or do anything on this one, but up here, if I click download, it's going to download it as a Word document. Then I open it up, enable the editing, and I can type right into the fields of this application. So the first thing it's going to ask is for my name. So I will type in my name. The next thing it's going to ask is if I'm male or female. Here's a quick trick. On the female or male square, if you right click, hit properties, then I can mark checked and it'll put an X in that box. Then on my date of birth, I'm going to put in whatever your date of birth is, and we're going to leave that a blank. Haha. Then I put my parent and guardian's information, and you will notice that it's regardless of what your situation is, we're asking for your parent and guardian's names. Then as the application goes on, it's going to ask you where you're living, especially if maybe you're living with dad and not with mom, or you're living with mom and not with dad, and it will help spell that information out. You will also need to look at the home in which you live, the home where you reside, and what the income is for that. You may have to go home and ask mom and dad. You can do the same thing. Right click on a box, hit properties, mark it checked, and it'll give you an X. The next part of the application asks if there's any financial considerations in your family that you'd like a scholarship committee to be aware of. This is where you might say that you have older siblings who are in college, or maybe you have a family member, your mother has a health condition that is an expensive condition to treat. And while maybe your family on paper looks like it has a lot of resources available, in actuality it really doesn't. Then we ask you to attach a resume. This is a change from in years past. In years past we would have kids list those activities right there on the application, but we feel like that information was not very clear on applications. When committee members tried to read them, we got feedback from community that they were having trouble deciphering what kids' activities were. So we decided to clear that up to help kids and to help our community organizations, and we're asking you to attach a resume with your activities. Then we ask you where you want to go, and we ask you your college major and your college minor. This is a little note, a little advice. Please do not lie or fib or stretch the truth on this with your majors and minors, trying to make yourself more applicable and meet the requirements to different scholarships, because we can kind of figure that out, and it is something that community members have mentioned to us as well, that they felt like that there was some students maybe not being as honest about what their plans really are. So be honest, it's all right. And those community members want to know what you're doing. And then it's going to ask you to sign it at the bottom. There'll be a place once you finish filling this information out that you will sign your name, and you'll bring it to your counselor, and then your counselor will fill it out. So when you're done with your application, you will have something that looks very similar to this, and you will see name and female and my parents' name, and I live with my mother and my father, and here's our address, here's all of our family information. I filled everything out, what school which schools I plan to attend, that my anticipated major is secondary education. I want to be a high school math instructor. My parents are planning to help me with my schooling. So what I would do then, once this is printed out, is I would date it. My pen's not working, of course. I would date it and put my signature. Take this application to my counselor, who would then on the other side fill this information out. Once that has been completed, I'm ready to start making photocopies. And I have picked out maybe 10 or 15 scholarships from that book, and I will take this and make photocopies, 10 or 15 of them, and then handwrite at the very top up here, if you remember, here at the very top, I'll handwrite the scholarship on each photocopy that I've made, and then I'll turn those into the counselor's office. You'll want to pay close attention to when the scholarships are due. Probably about 90% of them or so will be due in the office on February 12th. There are a handful that have some different dates, and you'll want to make note of those. There will be also some scholarships that we'll ask you to put in a letter of recommendation or maybe write an essay. That will be on you to gather that information, to put it with your application and turn it in here at the high school. A couple of quick notes about turning your applications in when you turn them in at the high school. Don't do anything fancy, folks. Take your papers, don't buy special paper, don't go to that expense, trying to save you guys some money here. Use regular paper, staple everything in the top left-hand corner. No paper clips, no fancy folders, no fancy envelopes or page protectors. All of that gets taken away before it gets handed over to the community groups and organizations that make the decisions on these scholarships, and they just want them stapled. So save yourself some time and money, staple everything together in the top left-hand corner, and then you'll turn it in here to the counselor's office on the due date, most likely February 12th. So, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Get working on those scholarships, kids. We want to see what you get. And once you get those college applications and those scholarships awarded to you, please let us know in the office. We want to brag on you and put you up on our board and gather that scholarship information to share at our academic awards night. So thanks for checking in with us, and we'll see you in December, seniors, in your scholarship presentations in language arts classes. See you soon. Thanks.